Hello my pokey people, and welcome one and all to some more Sun and Moon hype theory and discussion. And while it's been a relatively calm time recently in the world of Sun and Moon news, and by calm I mean we've just not happened to have a new mind-blowing awesome feature that we never realized that we needed, but now that we know about it, I'm not going to be able to sleep thinking about it for excitement. We've just had a trickle of new Pokemon and a bit of information on Z-moves, but what new Pokemon they are? They are some definitely, air quotes, interesting specimens that we're going to talk about, so let's do this thing. First up then, we have Turtonator, who, well, in fact, let me just take you through my thought process when I saw this guy pop up. I saw his name, I was like, that sounds cool, I like me turtle Pokemon, and then I saw how he looks, and I have this kind of... What? It looks like somebody gave a kid some Play-Doh and asked them to vaguely model what they think a cool-looking turtle would look like, and they just went, fuck it, spikes everywhere! It looks like the Horde designed this Pokemon. But then upon further inspection, I did start to appreciate it more. I do like the gnarly spikes that it has as a defensive measure on its back. I like that it deliberately stands to face its shell to its opponent because A, it knows its shell protects it, and B, it knows it has a massive weak spot on the front of its shell, aka the massive hole where things can really hurt it. And I do like it when a Pokemon uses its tools correctly in a kind of realistic animal way, so I kind of appreciated it more, but I still then had this moment of, but look at its head, it kind of completely faces away from the enemy, and then turns its neck all the way back round, and all I can see while looking at it is, oh god, imagine that neck pain! It's like being sat at the front of a cinema and having to look up to see the screen because you got really bad seats, and then by the time you walk out, your neck feels like it's been pummeled by Mike Tyson. It's just, I think that's what gets me. I just see neck pain when I look at Turtonator. But I think overall, I do think it definitely stands out, and I think it's definitely quite the vivid design. I don't mind it. There's definitely worse Pokemon. I don't know, there's just something off about it when I look at it. So it's kind of hard to identify where this comes from. It's got the kind of spiky shell that you'd find on like a snapping turtle and various other things, and its face, the closest I could really get was that the sort of snout nose that looks like it can shoot fire out of it kind of is reminiscent of the face of a soft-shelled turtle, and then the whole form itself and the fact that it's got dragon type makes it kind of play into the mythological creature, the dragon turtle. So it is kind of a nice, gnarly amalgamation of themes going on here, and while it doesn't have a unique ability, it does have a unique move, and this move is Shell Trap, and you set it, and then when you get hit by your next physical move, it basically blows everything the hell up and does a load of damage. So I'm kind of liking that they are giving defensive Pokemon more tools and more useful abilities in a hope to kind of change the battling style and maybe even slow it down a little, and I'm definitely a fan of that. I think this guy, as long as his stats aren't garbage, and since he's a dragon they probably won't be, might actually see a fair amount of use. And I guess I should mention that the hole in the front of its chest isn't just a random flaw in its armor, it is where it generates its explosive blasts from. So it does definitely have an appeal, and it even gives a little bit of Monster Hunter-ness for me, because it actually has explosive material coating its shell, which is where it generates these massive explosions. And that kind of reminds me of the natural fiery defenses of a lot of wyverns and elder dragons you fight in Monster Hunter. So there you go. I guess because of a lot of what's going on, and not because of its real appearance, I do kind of like it. Next up we have Crab Brawler, who is obviously a crab that brawls, and he's got a boxing style going on for him, hence the massive boxing glove claws that he is sporting. And I love the permanently punched in eye with the droopy eyelids. So apparently these things are very, very aggressive. They like to scrap. Like a massive group of them will fight over a tree, and then the winner gets to claim all the berries. They have the strength to just straight punch through a tree as well, which is quite the force behind these things. It really, really is. And apparently if you try and move one, you will just get punched in the face. So I kind of like that. I do. I mean, I I don't mind it. It's not the coolest looking Pokemon. I don't like the random, like, spiky antennae, horny things it's got going on the top of his head. And obviously crabs do have them, but they're generally not, like, well, as horn-like as they are. But, I mean, I don't mind it. It's amusing. A kind of beat-up, brawling crab. And apparently, like, every now and then, its arm literally falls off during fights, and people eat them because they're delicious. Okay, I do like that in real life crabs do cut off their own arm if they deem it as advantageous, or if their arm's strapped or anything like that, they will just literally snip off their own arm. So I like that that's represented, but yeah, not really much else to say about it. Next up, however, this was leaked in Korokoro, but now we have it officially announced with more information. We have Sandcastle, who is kind of awesome. We have a Ghost Ground with a new ability, Water Compaction, which basically means when it gets hit by a water move, it gets a massive defense boost. And that makes sense. The sand gets wet, it gets more compact. I like that. That's a pretty neat way to play into the fact that it is a possessed pile of sand. And I think a lot of people will see this Pokemon as the Trubbish or the Ice Cream Cone of the generation, but I really don't. I do actually really like it, and its evolution, honestly. It makes sense. You know, it's a very tropical beach-based location, so to have a living sandcastle, which is a symbol of that, is neat. And the idea of a ghost possessing a moving clump of sand is also neat, because this flowing, terrifying creature made up of thousands of tiny sand particles is quite intimidating. And apparently it sucks the life force out of you through the hole through its center, which, you know, kind of is its mouth. And it's a sign of bravery and a test of courage to deliberately put your hand in the mouth of this thing and will basically survive the ordeal. So I do kind of like how that came about. Hey, Dave. I dare you to go stick your arm in that sandy gas mouth. Oh shit, Dave's doing it. Oh Christ. And then from then on, it just became legend. It's just fantastic. Also, if you grab the shovel in its head, which is an actual shovel as far as I can see, because you can remove it. It's not like it's part of the Pokemon. Or I guess it could just be possessing it and then it loses connection with its possession of it if you take it. But if you do hold on to it, it just takes complete control of you. So even though it's a nice little sandcastle ghost, it still is fucked up as ghost Pokemon tend to be in Pokemon. And then once it's lost its shovel, it'll replace it with like a flag or a branch, but it will forever be on a quest to find itself a new shovel. So ain't that just adorable? So I like Sandcastle, I don't mind it. And then its evolution, I very much enjoy as well. Palo Sand, it's a nice big castle look. It's got the shells on, it's got its spade, and it uses the spade as a radar, which is why it twirls around on the top of its head. Also, sick shadow ball animation. I'm really liking that. And what Sandcastle will do, actually, while we mention it, is get people to actually pile more sand onto it so it can get bigger and bigger and bigger, because it can't actually generate and replace more sand. Palo Sand can, the evolution, and it doesn't need people to help it, but it can also create its entire body into a sort of sinkhole whirlpool, and it's kind of addicted to the vitality of Pokemon, and it literally drags the Pokemon into its body, absorbs it into its sandy frame, and then steals its life force. And this all happens in a heartbeat. I mean, is that not kind of messed up? And then Pokemon that are dragged this way leave traces of their ill will behind. Yeah, you think they're probably pretty pissed off. And then the cycle continues because this ill energy left behind by Pokemon that the Palo Sand has consumed then possesses a new clump of sand and becomes a new Sandcastle. So it just perpetuates its own cycle of stealing life force and multiplying. It's quite horrific, but I do definitely like it. And then next up, we have ourselves Stuffle, who is based on a plushie toy, the pre-evolution of Beware. I mean, whatever. I really just don't care for it. I don't think it looks adorable. I think it looks stupid, and apparently it's still really strong, but whatever. And the irony is it hates being touched despite people loving how cute and soft it is, so it constantly flails and keeps knocking people the fuck out. So I guess it's got that going for it, but whatever. It's a tiny little cute bear, and it evolves into another Pokemon anyway, so really what's it matter? And then finally, we have ourselves a little bit of an upgrade information on Z moves, and kind of cool, honestly, because you have to collect the crystals as you go through your journey, and then the Pokemon has to be holding the same type of crystal that's in your bracelet to do its corresponding move. That's all very good, but we had a little bit of a demo in a Germany Nintendo Treehouse stream where they did show a load of people having a battle in the new Brawl Battle mode, and you do get to see someone actually use a Z move in that, and they use it on a Pikachu, and it's a normal move. So the normal Z move is a really super quick, fast, like mega quick attack effectively. So I wonder if it will actually have priority, which would be kind of cool, and a Pikachu uses it. So in order for a Pokemon to use a Z move, they have to know a move already of that type, but as long as they can know a move of that type, they can do the Z move of that type. So it's not actually restricted to the actual type of the Pokemon. Also, because we got to see the full battle space, there doesn't look like there is anywhere to press Mega Evolution. It really looks like there just isn't. Z move takes up the space, so it kind of points to maybe Mega Evolution not actually being a thing in Sun and Moon, but then there is supposed to be new Mega Evolutions in Sun and Moon, so I am confused as to where they'd put Mega Evolution. It does seem very, very curious, but really, that's just it. Multiple types of Z move on the same Pokemon and the requirements for it, and yeah, there we go. Not a crazy amount of stuff, but it is nice to see a full Battle Royale. I still think it should only end once there is just one person standing instead of just one person knocked out, because the ganging up of one person seems way too easy to do, but there you have it. Alrighty then, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Like if you've enjoyed this, spread the word, and subscribe for more as we all wait patiently, or I guess more accurately, very impatiently, for Sun and Moon to come around. Oh, goodbye.